Hallelujah, 2020 is finally coming to an end. We have light at the end of the tunnel. 2021 is just around the corner, and hopefully that will be the year that we see the end of this pandemic. To do a little review at the end of each year. I like to sit down, I actually print out my photos from the year, put them in a physical photo album so that I can look back at them and have a bit of nostalgia, and I like to think about the things I've learned, the best experiences I've had, and just kind of mull over the year. So I thought we could sit down and do that together today. So I've got 20 questions that I'm going to be answering about the year, and I've actually made a cheat sheet for you guys to download, and you can do this yourselves if you want to as well. So I'll put that in the description box below. I'm collaborating with my good friend Ezgi, who is a fellow medical doctor and YouTuber over here on YouTube. And guys, if you're not already following her, you are missing a trick. If you like my videos, you like doctor vlogs and seeing what doctors actually get up to in their real lives, you are gonna absolutely love her videos. So definitely go and check out her video after you've watched this one. I'll pop it in the description box below, and she's releasing it today. So go over, check out her channel, and let her know that I sent you as well. First question, one word to describe the year. Easy. Unpredictable. The best thing you did for someone else. Okay, so this year I had a couple of family members who were really quite unwell, not with COVID, but with different various things wrong with them. And I really felt like I was there for them, and I made an extra effort to go out of my way to be there when they needed me, physically and on the phone and emotionally, and to be able to provide a bit of support for them. The good thing about being a doctor is that because we have that medical knowledge, although we're not actually allowed to treat our friends and family, it's useful to be able to know to tell them when is a good time to actually seek medical support. And I know that my family have found that useful this year. Favourite TV show of the year? Oh my goodness. Okay, so Downton Abbey. I didn't realise how much of a trick I was missing by not watching Downton Abbey. I've never been much of a TV person, but this year Vince and I got COVID, as you may have seen in my I Caught COVID vlog, and we basically sat and watched the whole, 10 series of Downton Abbey, and it was incredible. We watched it so much through each day, like binge watching again and again and again. I actually felt like I was in the TV show. It was incredible. Loved it. If you haven't watched it, it's amazing. Go check it out. Time you laughed the hardest. Oh, well, Vince and I were just sitting downstairs and thinking about this, and it's got to be, if I've got a clip of it, I'll insert it here. When we were in the Philippines, we went travelling at the start of the year, and it was Vince's birthday, and we made some really great friends over there, and we were getting a taxi. There's these they're kind of like tuk-tuk taxis where they're just like a very, very small vehicle, and there were about 7 guys, and they asked if they could sit inside and on top of the taxi, and the guy was like, yeah, go for it. And all the boys got on top. It's like a motorbike with a sidecar kind of thing, and the guys all got on top and inside, and it was like rocking, and it started tipping back. Something you learned to do or had never done before. Oh, well, in New Zealand I decided to just throw myself into all of the activities, and I went hang gliding, which was honestly one of the best experiences of my whole entire life. I felt like I was flying. Well, I was flying, I guess. And the zip line, have any of you been and done the big zip line in New Zealand? That scared the out of me. Let me tell you, it was terrifying. So scary. I didn't think it was going to be that scary until I got to the top and I looked over the edge and I was like, wow, that is a big fall. But yeah, did it, loved doing that, and I'm really glad that I threw myself into all of those experiences. Biggest lesson learned. Okay, so this is a tough one because I feel like with everything that's happened this year, we've all learned so much to be flexible. And I think we've all learnt this, that plans can change. Vince and I we've been house hunting, and we've also been we're engaged, we've been trying to plan our wedding, and lots of plans have gone up and down and fallen through. And yeah, a huge lesson was to be flexible and to sort of not not get too dead set on certain things happening and having to happen in a certain way. Loads of my friends have had weddings completely cancelled, huge plans falling through, so I think all of us have had to learn to be a lot more flexible this year, haven't we? Best advice you received? Oh, well, I've been really enjoying this podcast by a lady called Susan Hyatt. It's called Rich Coach Club. I don't know how I stumbled upon it actually, but yeah, it's a fantastic podcast. She's got just such high energy. It makes me feel so good. She does like a little pep talk at the start of each episode. And she did a particular episode on developing a whatever it takes attitude. And basically, if you've got a big goal in mind and it's something that you've really set your heart upon, it's about being relentless in trying to get to that point and not giving up at the first hurdle or the second hurdle, but really believing yourself, backing yourself and keeping going until you get to that goal. And yeah, I really like that. It's so that episode has really stuck with me. What purchase turned out to be the best buy? Well, there's been a few. We bought a house this year, but we haven't moved into it yet, so I can't really say that one's been the best purchase. The bag I took with me travelling was fantastic. It was quite expensive for a backpack, but I'm really glad that I spent the extra money and got a really nice one. It was just what I needed. And also, bit of a strange one, but a gel nails kit. I absolutely love having gel pedicures, and it always feels like such a treat. And as doctors, we can't have our nails painted for work, so getting a gel pedicure is always like a nice treat for me and just makes me feel a little bit more polished. But yeah, with lockdown I wasn't able to go to the salon, so I decided to buy myself a home gel kit, and oh my goodness, I had been missing a trick. I'm so glad I got this, and I've been telling all my friends and family that they need to get a gel nails kit because it's so nice to be able to do your own gel nails at home. And yeah, I always make it into like a little spa experience, do all my cuticles and everything. An achievement you are proud of? I suppose setting up my own clinic. You guys know that I have been doing Botox and fillers as a separate business. I feel very proud that I bit the bullet and went for it, and I'm pursuing that dream. Favourite book of the year? Well, I've read some really good books this year. Maybe I could make a video on like the best books I've read this year, but one that has really stuck with me and I think I'm going to go back and read probably most years is Atomic Habits by James Clear. Such a good book, made me think a lot, and yeah, I would recommend it to anyone. How did your overall outlook on life change? When we came back from our 3-month trip at the start of the year, we came back to the country just having started a lockdown. And that was when all the clap for carers was happening. Everyone was just putting these big signs in their windows and making beautiful decorations. Yeah, seeing all of those signs and hearing everyone's lovely comments about the NHS just made me realise that people do love it, and it is actually a national treasure. So long may it continue. I don't know if you guys feel this, but I have a real sense of togetherness. We've all been isolating at home, we've all been locking down, and I know that we've all been sort of separate in our own houses and in everyone's bubbles, but there's this kind of sense that we're going through something major together, and we'll pull out the other side. The time you were most scared? Okay, well, I was definitely scared about to jump off that zip line. Like my adrenaline, I got such an adrenaline rush, I was sweating and shaking. But a time I was scared was starting back at work after having been away travelling. I hadn't worked for I think 4 months, and I was going back to work at sort of the first peak of COVID, and I was going to work straight in the front line in a COVID positive area in the emergency department as a doctor. I really was terrified. I remember those first couple of shifts back, I felt kind of had that horrible anxious feeling. I felt like my chest was so tight. I was really sort of struggling mentally with that. When I got to work, the staff were amazing, and you know, we all carry each other through on those shifts where things are really tough. What did you let go of? Okay, lots of clutter. We have been doing a lot of clearing out in this household. When we came back from our trip, we had that kind of mental shift of, oh, we just don't need loads of possessions and we don't need loads of stuff, and how have we been buying all of these items that we don't need, because we'd basically been living out of a car for 2 months. So we had a big clear out when we first got back, and of course now with moving house very soon, we've been doing lots of clearing out. So yeah, lots of clutter, lots of clothes especially that I don't use or wear, that are now donated and going to better homes. One great compliment you received. Oh, well, this one's really difficult to think of, but my sister and my mum are just the loveliest people, and they always lift me up. Like every time I speak to them, they're so uplifting and sweet, and always tell me, oh, you're doing so great and you're making such a positive change in the world. And like my sister always likes to remind me that I'm really ambitious and driven. And yeah, my mum is just the sweetest person, and every time I speak to her, she just sings my praises. And yeah, speaking to those two is lovely, and I always feel like it's a warm hug. And yeah, you need people like that in your life to lift you up. What new thing did you discover about yourself? So before Vince and I went travelling, we had been thinking that potentially we might end up moving abroad. So we were kind of going away for a long period of time to see if we liked being in another culture, another country. And actually we really enjoyed our trip, but it confirmed to us that we love living in the UK and we love living in the Midlands, which is where we are. And yeah, we came back from that trip ready to start looking for a house to purchase and to settle down somewhere a bit more permanently. So that's quite exciting that we came to that decision. What one thing has surprised you the most this year? Probably, like I said about after our trip, realizing that we just didn't need as many possessions as we thought we did. And I'm not gonna lie, I am someone who loves to buy stuff, and I am very much into having nice things around me, but living out of a car and living out of a backpack and kind of like wearing the same clothes again and again, and like just experiencing the outdoors every day and going and doing new things and having adventures, that was amazing. And I really just didn't rely on my possessions so much to have a good time. Although having said that, I did use my phone a lot because I was taking a lot of pictures and videos. But yeah, we both felt that we didn't need as many items as we thought we did. What or whom are you the most thankful for? Oh, well, definitely friends and family. Oh my goodness, I think I speak for all of us when I say that. Zoom calls have been life this year, haven't they? Like, yeah, I've been really loving doing the Zoom calls with my friends and family. And I know that I'm not alone when I say I cannot wait to be able to see all of my friends and family and give them all a big hug. And yeah, to be able to have parties and things again, and weddings. So many weddings and parties missed out on this year. We've all kept each other afloat, and everyone's had difficult times. We've all had times where we've like had a rough week or a rough few weeks where we've felt really down or anxious. And yeah, it's been great to know that we're all in it together and that we can all lift each other up. Also, I've got to say that I am very thankful to the people who have worked hard to get the vaccine underway. I cannot even fathom how much hard work that must have been, and I cannot wait for this pandemic to be over, and I've got so much hope in this vaccine. So yeah, that is something I'm very grateful for. Finally, did you keep last year's resolution? Well, yes, actually. Last year's resolution for me was to stop being late, and I basically decided I am not going to be late anymore. I decided it doesn't fit with who I am as a person and how I want to treat other people. I want to value other people's time. I'm an organised person, so I shouldn't be running late for things. And so I just made the decision last year. And the way I did it was I told myself I am the kind of person who is always early for things or is always on time. And since then, I'm just not late. I just tell myself that I'm the kind of person who is early for stuff, and I just rock up early. So that has worked. Little tip for you there if you want to try that. I think I actually got that from Atomic Habits. Guys, I'm going to link everything down in the description box below, including the cheat sheet that you can download. It's a PDF download, and you can do your own year review, and I would highly recommend it. Well, of course I would. I'm a doctor, and part of being a doctor is doing reflective practice and looking back on things, and I actually personally love doing that. I think it's a great way to honour all of the wonderful things that you've done this year, the things that you've learned. So go and check that out, download it in the description box below. And I think it's very easy to get caught up in all of the negativity from the news and, you know, all of the rubbishness that is going on in the world, which is undoubtedly awful, but it's also important to focus on the things that you have done that are great, the things you've experienced, the things you've achieved. And I hope that you've enjoyed this video and that you can do your own reflection as well from it. Make sure you go and check out Ezgi's video over at the Junior Doctor, and I just want to say thank you for being with me this year. It's been a wonderful year and I cannot wait to do lots more videos and share more experiences with you in 2021. I'll catch you next time, guys. Bye!